Stephen Adams is in the country at the moment. He's doing all kinds of fundraisers, rehabbing that very troublesome knee of his. Remember, he missed a huge chunk at the end of the season for the Grizzlies. Big man, putting a lot of pressure on that knee. Well, I bumped into someone this morning, and I won't say who it was, but a very good friend of Stephen Adams, spent a fair bit of time with him over the last few days, and he said, mate, did you know, and this is a direct quote, he said that, knee was misdiagnosed by the Grizzlies to start with. And that he went away and they said, no, there's nothing wrong there. And went away, got a second opinion, and apparently the second opinion said, oh, hang on a second, that is just hanging by a thread. And from that second opinion, then he got the surgery, and that has been the rehabilitation process ever since. But Grizzlies got it wrong. That's what we're hearing. Well, let's go to Pete Pranica, who is the game caller on Bally Sports. What do you know, if anything, about this, Pete?
I was not aware of that. I know that Stephen had also seen doctors in Los Angeles. That's all news to me. I mean, the Grizzlies physicians typically are considered among the best. In fact, the team orthopedist literally wrote the book on knee surgery in America. So that's surprising to me. Was not aware of that. I'm hopeful that the prognosis for Stephen is good. I don't know if they gave you that information or not, but I hope that he'll be ready to go when we hit training camp in early October.
Well, what is the latest from the club on this? Have they made any statement at all about his progress?
They've not made any public statement, but the belief was that he would be ready to go for the start of the season. But there's been no official press release or anything like that. The NBA does not mandate it in the off season like this. So I think the kind of the word on the street is, we believe that he'll be back for the start of the season.
Nobody ever puts their hand up in this situation, never admits that, I might have made a mistake, I may have got it wrong, because that's not the world that we live in these days. But is it a possibility that this could happen and a player goes and gets another diagnosis? I mean, in the end, hey, look, no one's pointing fingers or blaming. I mean, people can get things wrong. But is this a situation that sounds likely if it did happen like this?
It's entirely possible. I mean, whether you're a professional athlete or just a regular person like you or me, I've always said that if you get a diagnosis and it's a troubling diagnosis, there's absolutely nothing wrong with getting a second opinion. And, Stephen certainly was well within his rights to do that. Stephen is an extremely bright guy. And, that was the right thing, because I think all of us with the Grizzlies said, well, man, it's taken a really, really long time for him to get back. And, so he went and he got the second opinion, and hopefully this will address the issue. Second opinions and differing diagnoses happen not only in professional sports, but as I said, in daily life. It's unfortunate what you're telling me, but it's like I said, it's news to me, and hopefully the prognosis ultimately is good, because at the end of the day, the most important thing is Stephen's health.
And how valuable is he still to the organisation on court?
Incredibly valuable. I don't know if your listeners are into some of the more arcane stats, but the NBA keeps track of something called screen assists. How many times does a basket result from a particular person's screening? And Stephen Adams was among the league leaders last year in that category. He was the league leader in offensive rebounds while he was able to play. So, his value to this team is incredible as a rebounder, as a screener, his basketball IQ, the fact that he has gone deep into the playoffs and he's one of the more veteran players on this team. All those things make him an extremely valuable player. And if you look at how the Grizzlies' rebounding numbers dropped in the second half of last season after Stephen went out with the injury, there's no doubt, numerically and the eye test, that he is incredibly important to this basketball club.
24 hours from the schedule being released for the new season. Final word on Ja Morant. Where is he at the moment, and when is he back playing?
Well, the NBA's mandated a 25-game suspension. Where he is right now, what he is doing, we really don't know. I've not seen him, and I've been, in fairness, I've not been around, have not been around the team doing other things. In fact, I'm leaving on a trip that'll take me to Ireland in a few days.
Fantastic.
So So Notre Dame and Navy, American football in Dublin, Ireland. That's the reason for the trip. But in any event, Morant mandated 25-game suspension. So that probably puts it late November, early December, and the team is just going to have to make its way without him. I think that's why the Grizzlies got Marcus Smart, just to be that combo guard, that guy that can be a veteran presence and run the offense. And you get Derrick Rose, who has been down a similar path as Ja has become, being a very well-respected and renowned player very early in his career. And Derrick has gone through other forms of adversity, and I think he'll be a good veteran leader. So those are a couple of guys that are going to have to hold things down until Ja gets back 25 games in.
And if Derrick Rose can come back from the knee surgeries and the constant problems that he's had, well, let's hope that Steven Adams the same.
Exactly. I don't know the nature of the injury. I don't know what the procedure was, but hopefully everything will be good to go. And that is one of the elements of, people ask me, well, who's going to win the championship or who's going to do this before the season? And I always say, tell me who's going to be the healthiest team in the NBA, and then I'll give you an answer. The Sacramento Kings last year had a fantastic season. Part of it was they were one of the healthiest teams in the NBA last season, and that does play a role. And the Grizzlies were, again, among the league leaders in losing games to injury. So if you stay healthy, it certainly gives you a leg up in the competition.
Devlin. You better believe it! The platform.
Pranica, game caller for the Grizzlies on Bally Sports.